Hey everybody, welcome to that vinyl channel. I'm that vinyl guy Boz, and this is going to be the 2025 vinyl tag put out by the Pretty Green Vinyl Guy. He has a list of 20 questions here. I had them all written down, ready to answer. I'm doing mine a little differently. For mine, I'm going to be entering them all with some 7-inch records, 7-inch singles. So, but other than that, let's go ahead and get started with these 20 questions. So the first one here is best purchase of 2024, new or old. So I got this one last year around March or so. This was put out by a band called the Wife Beatles. So they are a band who mimics the Beatles, and sometimes they put out novelty songs as well. This is a novelty song they put out called It's Okay to Leave a Dog in a Hot Car. And it does sound like the Beatles did put this out. So they did a very good job with this. Of course, it's not okay to leave a dog in a hot car. I want to specify that. But according to the song here, it's okay to leave a dog in a hot car. So again, this is put out by the Wife Beatles, and it's a great novelty song, which is why it's my number one, at least new purchase, 2024. All right, so moving on to question number 2. 50 years later, best record from 1974. There are a lot of great songs that came out in 1974, but I really want to talk about this one. So this is by a performer called Andy Kim. He is, I believe, he's Canadian, and in the 1960s he had some big hits. But in the early mid 1970s, he found himself without a label, without really a career path at that point, and he came up with this song called "Rock Me Gently," and he pitched it to several labels, and they all turned him down. So he decided to get together his own money and produced this record. He even put it onto his very own label, which I have here, which is the Ice label. He passed it around to a bunch of radio stations, and they actually ended up playing this song, and it got a lot of airtime, and it caught the attention of the labels, who finally decided to go ahead and sign him. Capitol Records did go ahead and sign him and release it under that label, and that is this copy here, which is Capitol. Now, if you ever see it on the Ice, that's the original release. Capitol would be the later release of this, but once it was released by Capitol, it went to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. So, but yeah, initially he just went ahead and he used his own money to go ahead and record this song. So it's a great story, and it's a great song. Again, Andy Kim and Rock Me Gently. Okay, question number 3, a record that defined a genre. I went with this one here. This is going to be Rock the Boat by the Hughes Corporation. Came out in 1974. Arguably the very first disco song that went to number 1 on the Billboard charts, and I think it went to number 2 in Canada. And but it came out in 1974, which is really early for disco. But it's definitely one of the first and one of the earliest disco songs out there. And the fact that it went to number 1, I think that of any of the song, this is probably the best one that defines that genre. So there you go. That's Rock the Boat. Okay, question number 4, best band from your home country. Well, I'm in the U.S., so I'm going to choose a U.S. band, and I'm going to choose my favorite U.S. band, and that is going to be Styx. So this here is a 7-inch flexi disc. This has from the album Brave New World. This has the song number 1 on it, and it's a very cool flexi disc. So there you go. That's going to be my answer to that question. Is going to be Styx. Okay, question number 5, an artist you miss dearly. So I'm going to go with this one here. This one here is Jim Croce. He just passed away way too early, and definitely an untimely death. I think he would have went on to go ahead and do great things. I really would have liked to have seen what he would have put out in the mid to late 70s and through the 80s, and just a little time that he had putting out music. I mean, his stuff was just great. So I definitely miss Jim Croce, and I definitely wish that he definitely would have been around a lot longer. Number 6, best live recording in your collection. So I'm going to go with this one here. This one is by the Average White Band, and this here is a 7-inch EP. And the first song on side 2, as you see here, is I Heard It Through the Grapevine. And I think of all the different versions of I Heard It Through the Grapevine, I think this here is probably my favorite. I mean, and this song has been covered by quite a few bands and quite a few artists. But this here is probably my favorite version of the song. This live right here. Now this came from one of the Average White Band's live albums. I'm not really sure which one. It's not listed here on the label, so I'm not sure. But anyways, it's just a great song, which makes this my favorite live 7-inch single in my collection. Number 7, Your Partner Dumped You. What are you going to listen to? So I'm going to choose a song called These Boots Are Made for Walking. Now normally this is a song that was put out by Nancy Sinatra, I believe originally. I do not have an original recording. I have a cover of it put out by Dora Hall. So Dora Hall does a really great cover of the song. I really do like it. But if my partner walked out on me, this would definitely be the song that I'd be playing, and that is These Boots Are Made for Walking. Okay, number 8, best sounding drums on a song. So I picked this one here. This one here is going to be The Who, Eminence Front. So I'm not sure everybody would agree with that, but you know, this song starts out with like about 40 seconds of this equalizer that really sets the pace for the entire song, and then all of a sudden it goes on this drum. Those drums really lead into all the other instruments, and especially the very first time that you hear this song, it's almost unexpected. It's a really good way to tie in that very beginning into the rest of the song. I think it's a very good very good use of the drums for the song, so that's the one I picked. Okay, moving on to number 9, favorite artist who is a member of 2 or more bands. I picked David Grohl. He is a member of Foo Fighters. This is a great single they put out. This is Learn to Fly. So I do have this here on this 7-inch copy of the song. Great song. I really like the Foo Fighters a lot. And then he was also part of Nirvana. And I do have this 7-inch single here from Nirvana, which is Smells Like Teen Spirit. And that would be the answer to that question, and that would be David Grohl. Okay, moving on to number 10, Beatles or the Stones. So, you know what, I mean, I have about probably 3 to 4 times as many Stones LPs as I do Beatles, but I have about 3 to 4 times more 7-inch 45, 7-inch singles the Beatles than I do with the Stones. But when it comes down to the end of the day, I really like both bands a whole lot. But I think emotionally, why I think I get a lot more emotionally connected to music of the Beatles than I do the Stones. That's where I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the Beatles, and I do like them better than the Stones overall. So there you go. That's the answer to that question. Okay, so number 11, you're resting for a while with nothing to do. What are you going to listen to? Of course, I'm going to probably try to find some yacht rock, some easy listening rock and roll music, and nothing says yacht rock like Christopher Cross. And this here is Ride Like the Wind, which is a great mellow rock song by him. It's a really great relaxing song. So, and this here is a Japanese copy of it. Came in this cool little sleeve. But yeah, that's going to be the answer to that song. It's going to be Christopher Cross, Ride Like the Wind. Number 12, a record that you used to listen to from the 1980s. Well, my whole collection is over half of 1980s stuff. I mean, I'm playing stuff from the 1980s every single week, a lot. So it's hard to pick out just one record. This here is one single that I did play recently. So I'm going to show you that. This here is Def Leppard, Pour Some Sugar on Me. It's a really great single from the 1980s. I really like Def Leppard a lot. So that's what I'm going to go with. Def Leppard, Pour Some Sugar on Me. Okay, number 13, an artist in your collection that you really don't care for. For me, that's going to be Ted Nugent. I'm just not a huge fan of Ted Nugent. But he did put out this song here, Cat Scratch Fever. And it is a classic rock staple. And that's probably the only reason why I have it. Because it's a classic rock staple. So, but I really do not care that much for Ted Nugent. I just have this one single. I have no albums by him. So, but that's going to be the answer to that question. That's going to be Ted Nugent. Okay, number 14. Show a favorite record label. Looks like from the answer that that Pretty Green Vinyl guy gave in his response. He's talking about like the artwork of the label. So for me, that's going to be this one here. I've always liked this. This here is going to be the gold and green striped A&M Forget-Me-Not. I've always liked the way this looked. I've always liked the artwork of this. I think it's very, very, very cool looking. So that's going to be the answer to that question. That's going to be this yellow and, gold and green A&M Forget-Me-Nots. Okay, number 15, a run of 3 great singles. I'm going to do it all off of one album. This is from Genesis Invisible Touch that I believe came out in 1986. So there's 3 singles, 3 great singles that came off this album. Number 1 is Land of Confusion, which I have right here as a promo copy. It's a special edited remix of the song, but it's pretty cool. That's the first one. Second one is going to be Into Deep, also a great single. So there you are. And the third one is going to be Tonight. Now this here is a special release of this. This is actually a live version of the song, but it did originally come off this album, Invisible Touch, and that's going to be Tonight. All right, number 16, an RSD purchase that you actually consistently listen to. I do listen to this quite often, actually. So this here is Rush, Closer to the Heart, where it also says that it's the 40th anniversary edition, and this is off the album Farewell to Kings. But this here is, again, the RSD single to Closer to the Heart. That also has a pretty cool label, but that's something that I do play quite often. So that's going to be the answer to that. Rush, Closer to the Heart. Okay, number 17. You're reincarnated as any artist. Who do you choose? I'm going to choose Meatloaf. So I think I have a kinship to him. I think if I was going to be a rock artist, I would perform and do songs similar to the way that he performed and does his songs. And of course, I'm a huge fan of Meatloaf. And but that's going to be the answer to that question. Is going to be Meatloaf. So question number 18, best 3 lines of a song. So since I was just talking about Meatloaf, I'm gonna keep on the same track. So this here is from a single that he put out called Rock and Roll Dreams Come Through. So I'm gonna go ahead and read to you the lines here that I'm referencing. And that would be, think of how we lay down together. We'd be listening to the radio so loud and so strong. Every golden nugget coming like a gift from the gods. I think those are some excellent lines in a rock and roll song. So that's the answer to that question. So question number 19, a record that you can never tired of. I really like this song here, and I can probably listen to it every single day without any problems. This here is Alan O'Day, Undercover Angel. Came out in, I think, 1974 or 75. It's a really great song, and I've actually had this 45 in my collection since the early 1990s. So I've had it for quite a while. But again, this is definitely one of those songs that I can listen to almost every single day. So that would be Alan O'Day, Undercover Angel. Okay, so question number 20. Share your favorite VC channel. Well, I'm going to share a new channel that I was just introduced to. It is a great channel, though. And this is going to be Brian over at Cosmic Vinyl 2937. He's got a great channel, and shows a lot of awesome stuff. And I'll put a link down below to his channel. Be sure and check him out. Again, that's Brian over at Cosmic Vinyl 2937. And that's going to be the conclusion to the 2025 vinyl tag, again put out by Pretty Green Vinyl Guy. And I do want to thank everybody for watching today, and here's to a great 2025, and that's it. I will see you all next time.